So I've already asked my partner if we can go see this show when we're in London, and that'll probably mean seeing 3 shows in 3 days. And you know what her reaction was? I actually filmed her reaction. Here's her reaction.
I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left.
Hello and welcome to FTTR, I'm Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about Rev Pro. In particular, we are talking about the massive announcement that was made yesterday, and that is that Rev Pro will be running their anniversary show, their 14-year anniversary show, from no other place than the OVO Arena in Wembley. Now, for anyone who is a pro wrestling fan, anyone who is just a wrestling fan in general, this is very, very damn significant, and we're going to jump into why in just a few moments. But before we do, please subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below. I'll try to reply to every single one of them as we dive into this. So for anyone who is unaware, the OVO Arena is a big old arena in London, and it has one hell of a capacity. According to Google, it has a 12,500 seat capacity, and for context to some of the acts that play the OVO Arena, you have the likes of Busted and McFly are going to be there, and that's probably going to be one hell of a show. You know who else are running this arena? WWE with a SmackDown taping. That is how big this arena is. It is massive, and the announcement that Rev Pro are going to be running this show for their anniversary is just, it's mental when you think about it, because they are an independent wrestling company. They are a local London promotion. They are an independent company, and the fact that they've managed to build to this point where they are running a massive venue is significant for British wrestling. It shows a trend, an upward trend on sort of the viewing figures that Rev Pro are getting, sort of the attendances they are getting for their shows, particularly some of the anniversary shows that they've done. And that is, it's built up the confidence to go all in on All In weekend and run a massive venue. It is amazing. It is such a huge feat in British wrestling to, have the audacity to sort of go, you know what, we're going to double down and we are going to run a venue that the biggest promotion in the world is also running on All In weekend. And I think it's a huge gamble. But I think it is so impressive that they are willing to do this. And it's something that, you can look back at some of the previously highest attended shows. In doing my research for this, you've got the SSE Wembley Arena, in which Progress ran their Hello Wembley show. That drew about 4,500 people. The ICW Fear and Loathing in Scotland had about 6,000 people in the capacity there. But the biggest one you've got to look at is All In. That is currently, I believe, the highest attended independent wrestling show of all time. I'm not sure if it's been broken or not, but from looking into it, it doesn't look like it has, and that was over 10,000. Will Rev Pro get those numbers? I hope so. I hope people turn out. I hope they put on one hell of a card, because if this year's anything to go by, they put on one hell of a card for those 2 nights at Crystal Palace. So I think from here, it's all about building that momentum. They need to have like an insanely sick year, insanely solid building to this. I think there's probably going to be AW involvement. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the likes of maybe the Young Bucks showing up. If you can really pull off sort of a Kenny Omega on there, that would be insane. If you could get a big name like that on your show as well, it could really help boost ticket sales. And I think we need to support this. I think it's one of those things where if you're an independent wrestling fan, or if you're a wrestling fan in general, you want businesses to do well, you want promotions to do well, particularly when some of your favourite wrestlers wrestle there. And that's how I feel about Rev Pro. Some of my favourite wrestlers in the world work for Rev Pro and work matches at Rev Pro, like Lycos Jim, Luke Jacobs, Michael Oku, Rio, Kanji. There's a huge list of names of people that I love and support who will probably be on this show, and it's going to be massive for them. It's going to be massive for them working an independent show in a venue of that size, and if it can, that's an incredible feat. If it can get up to and surpass the 6,000 that ICW drew, then that's just insane. That is an absolutely insane feat, and it is something that we will be keeping our eye on going forward. I think it's really cool that they've announced it this far in advance, give it over a year for people to marinate in the idea of going to the show, make plans, book off the Saturday, it's the Saturday because it's taking place on Saturday the 29th of August 2026, day before Wembley Stadium. It's just an all-round badass move. It is an absolutely badass move, and I can't think of any other way to sort of quantify how I feel about it other than it's just badass. It's really badass, and I can't wait to go, because I will be going to this show. I will find a way to go to this show because it is something that I want to support. It is something that is very important for independent wrestling, because if for whatever reason this show tanks and not many people go, then people are going to look at it and say that was a failure. We're not going to run big venues like this again. Whereas if everyone supports it, everyone goes out, you've not just got the entire wrestling world put on notice, you've probably got people from like ITV, BBC, people looking at Rev Pro and looking at wrestling being like, you know what? They draw. We can put some money behind this. We can potentially get a TV deal up and running for Rev Pro, potentially get a look at these other promotions and maybe get them more exposure. This is the kind of like flag on the moon moment that could get a lot of eyes who aren't just wrestling people to take a look at pro wrestling, particularly in the UK, and say, you know what? They had a great run back in 2017, 2018, sort of before the whole speaking out movement and the COVID, and they are on the rise. We're going to capitalize on that. We're going to put some money behind this, and we're really going to feature prominently. And you could get bigger shows, more stars coming across from other promotions. It is better for the fans if this happens, and it helps to grow the industry as a whole out of the monopoly that WWE have tried to create. And you absolutely bet that Triple H, as soon as this was announced, he was on the phone to Shawn Michaels being like, hey, NXT Europe, let's make it happen. Now. Right now, Shawn. Right now. Impression tailed off towards the end. But I think that's a worry. I think Triple H is probably like, oh shit, they're running a big venue for this. We're going to try and stomp that out. So I would not be surprised if in the next year NXT Europe is announced. Some sort of show goes head to head with this in the UK potentially. And I think that would suck. I think this is a flag on the moon moment. It's something we should all support as British wrestling fans. And in terms of dream matches, I'm going to quickly go for dream matches for this, because there's one that I do want to talk about. And for me, it is the ultimate dream match. It's the one that I'd want to see the most, sort of with this partnership with AEW that Rev Pro has, and that is the Young Guns versus FTR. Luke Jacobs and Ethan Allen versus Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. That is the match that I want to see happen. I want to make that happen. That is the match that I am manifesting to happen. Also, random one, just because I've seen Leon Slater on the poster. Leon Slater versus Darby Allin. Let's also make that happen. Just why not? Those are the two matches that I'd love to see, sort of in the realm of Rev Pro and AEW. And yeah, to wrap this all up, I think it's an incredible move. Incredible flag on the moon moment for British wrestling. And I hope they sell a lot of tickets for this show. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Will you be going? Are you hyped? Let me know and I'll try to apply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.